Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Going On Daily Live. My name is Becky. Who are you?
My name's Chuck.
Your name is Chuck, rocking the Rio Blanco today, as usual, like you're a walking billboard.
That's what I do.
I
I
know you
love
do.
it.
That's good. You might as well. If you
What if
got
I
a
went like
business,
that?
you
Would that
may as
make it
well
even better? Hey,
promote it.
guys.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah.
I have that set up for that specific purpose. Nobody's ever called me out, but there was the first opportunity and I took it.
Just brand placement everywhere.
Indeed.
That's the
Indeed.
term. How was your weekend?
Pretty stellar, not going to lie. Not
Hmm.
going to lie.
What's it
It's
like to have
unbecoming of
sun?
someone to lie, so therefore I shall not.
I shall not lie. It poured here all weekend. I still have my furnace on. I can feel it right now.
Oh,
Just to remind everybody, it's almost July. I got my furnace on.
furnace. I've got my air conditioner pegged at the lowest possible setting against the advice of the whatever CPS is, the electric company here in San Antonio. They say
Okay.
not to do what I'm doing. Therefore, I'm
Hmm.
actually violating their wishes,
You're
but I
basically a
pay the
rebel.
bill here, so it's cool. And my energy bill is only like $50 a month, so whatever. I do what I want.
You pay the bill unless it was that lady that you switched like bills with that one
Oh yeah,
time.
she's long gone, Becky. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a whole
good.
story unto itself, but she has
Yeah,
never been seen or heard from
we
again.
need the update one
Shortly
day.
thereafter, she was thrown out of the
Oh,
complex.
good. Bye. You can take your bill and go.
Yep.
Well, it is Oceans Week here on Going On Daily. As you know, we have a different theme every week. This week is oceans. I love this one. I've got some doozies of stories for you today.
Yeah. Definitely oceans are
Doozies
cool.
of stories. Before we get into it, a shout out to WDJY in Atlanta, where we are on 5 different shows. Wednesdays, 9 to 10 p.m., Thursdays, 5 to 6 p.m., Fridays, 10 to 11 a.m., and Sundays, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 p.m. So if you're in Atlanta, check us out, WDJY.
That is WDJY, ladies and gentlemen. You're saying there's a 2 hour block on Sundays?
There is a 2 hour block, so we just put two shows since they're only an
What are you
hour.
going to do, folks? 2 hours straight right there. No
Yeah,
excuses. We
no
found out last week you
excuses
could easily access our show on TuneIn from anywhere in the world. So
anywhere in the
do it.
world. You don't even have to live in Atlanta. Now, for the good people of Atlanta, I just want you to know I love your city. I think it's great.
Absolutely. We love Atlanta with all of our heart.
Yeah,
That's a
we do.
universal thought from everybody at Going On
Yeah.
Daily. I speak for
You know
all
what?
of us.
Growing up here in Canada, I'm in Alberta. For my American friends who don't know, that's like above Montana, Idaho, that kind of area. We always would get Peachtree TV, which is out of Atlanta. So I
Yes,
watched all the good stuff was on Peachtree TV.
indeed.
Yeah. You
Peachtree
know where
TV.
you know where I haven't been though is Fairfax. I have been to Washington D.C., but we are going to be airing there as well with our beautiful faces, not even just our
That's
voices.
right. That's
So
right,
you know
ladies and
what?
gentlemen. We are going to be on the TV, and you can watch us. You can record us on your DVR and just watch it over and over again, like I do on YouTube every
Do
week.
people still have DVRs?
I have
Do
no
people still have
idea. I'm just
cable?
throwing that out there. I mean, it's Atlanta. It could be a totally different world for all we know.
Well, anyway, Fairfax and Washington D.C. I've not been to Virginia. I have been to I've been to the White House way back in the day. It
Oh,
must have
me
been
too.
A Clinton government back then. I'm
Ooh.
guessing I was just a child, way, way, way long time ago.
I feel like I went to the White House during the Clinton administration as well.
Were
That
you an
was my
intern?
time, yeah.
Were
And
you
we
an
went to the
intern?
Smithsonian, which was way cooler
Oh, that's cool.
than the White House.
Yeah.
That was before the
Well,
White House was hosting UFC fights and stuff.
oh, that's so cool. I love that. Shout out to Lilac is here. Hello. And Ronald, my friend from Uganda, is here. So
Yeah.
good morning, Ronald. Okay, why don't you kick us off here right after we say thank you to Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives Institute, who are our sponsors. You can see them above Chuck's head. There is a little bit of a banner there for them. Okay, take us into this. Pictures at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, Becky, it is
Oh,
Ocean
wow.
Week,
It
and
is
I
a
feel like it would be remiss if I didn't have a pretty unique story about my experience with the ocean. And as you
yes.
recall in previous episodes, I've almost drowned before jumping off cliffs, and I've, had all kinds of weird things happen in the water. But nothing quite so weird as today's tale. We're going to go
Mhm.
back in time just a little bit. This is actually on the same trip where I almost drowned in Maui. And basically, this was, I'm guessing like 2006 or 7. It's been quite a while ago. And I've got a trip to Hawaii. And it's like, all right, this is going to be pretty cool. I've never been to Hawaii before.
Yeah,
So
right.
I literally like trained for an entire year because I hired a personal trainer. I did the whole deal, right? Like Hawaii, you got to be like,
You got to be buff and
you got to
sexy.
be jacked. And
Yeah.
so I'm on a cruise. I'd never been on a cruise before, which I didn't realize the cruise ship I was on was going to be all elderly people. So
I think
all that
that's a given.
really didn't mean a whole lot to me. But what did mean a lot to me was I was going to Hawaii. So I'm taking a trip that's going to be it's going to be 15 days, Becky, like boom, boom, boom. And back in the day, we didn't have iPhones with great cameras on them. So if you wanted to capture memories of your trip, you would have to like actually take a camera and be like,
for sure.
You know. And then back then they had like memory cards and you could put them in stuff and print photos and do whatever, but it wasn't the same as it is now.
No.
But I went, trained for an entire year. I bought this sweet camera off of, I think it was eBay back then. And this thing was like 14 megapixel. Like it was like the Mac of all back in the day.
In 2006, that was pretty high.
This thing was sick. Like you could like literally read letters from signs that were like across the street. And I needed this because I'm going to Hawaii and I need to get some good
selfies.
Not just selfies. This was before selfies. Selfies hadn't even been invented yet.
Right.
This was like, I need to take pictures of Hawaii. I'm going to the rainforest. I'm going in the Kilauea volcano and like literally walking in an active volcano that had steam coming out of it, taking pictures of everything. The cruise ship, there's like millions of things to see. It's going to be amazing. The beaches, I don't even know what that thing that I went to was called, the dinner, but it was a luau. There you go.
Oh,
and
fun.
I thought this is going to be pretty awesome, right? And ready to rock and roll. Make the trip, get to San Diego, get on the ship. I've got my camera. I'm snapping away. Everything's great. 5 days out, I'm snapping photos. I'm making friends everywhere. I got people that are just, every time I see them, you know, what's up? What's up? I made a good network with these old folks. And I think that I was the young whippersnapper and they either hated me or they loved me. I don't know. They acted like I was cool though. So made a lot of friends, got a lot of pictures of them together and, you know, creating memories. Go this entire 5 days in Hawaii. We go to a different island each day. I capture literally thousands of memories. Thousands, Becky, of memories of all this trip. This is like the greatest thing that's ever happened. I'm enjoying this. 5 days back, I didn't take as many photos, but, you know, when I'm on my way back, it's like we've got, I'd guess probably about 5,000 photos of my trip. My once-in-a-lifetime trip to Hawaii, Becky. And on the last day, I decided to do something that I thought was going to be amazing. And basically, this turned out to be pretty bad. I was going to take a picture of the sun going down from the back of the ship.
Oh, no.
You know exactly what's about to happen here, unfortunately.
I do.
As I take the most beautiful picture in the history of the world, I get caught up in some kind of a thing, and my feet get kind of messed up, and I stumble and slip a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, lying somewhere at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean right now, all of my memories from Hawaii. I literally had 0 pictures from my entire trip. I didn't have anything that I was able to keep. When I was on the ship, I put like a couple of them in my computer, but I was all like, I'll just do it when I get home, you know, put off the work till I get there. And therefore, I literally cannot prove that I even went to Hawaii because fish food. And I think that was probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to someone that trained an entire year, made tons of friends, made millions of memories, and lost them all. Once I got off the ship, it was like, I don't know any of you people. I'll never remember any of you again.
Right. And see, this is why somebody invented the cloud for moments like this.
The cloud was probably some idiot like me that dropped his camera off a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean and was like, oh, now I have 0 proof that I was even there and I don't have any memories. And
exactly.
Who knows? I had a picture of me jumping off that cliff where I almost died. One of my friends took that, but
nobody believes you.
No, nobody
didn't even happen.
Yeah, didn't happen. So that's a
Not at
very
all.
unfortunate way to kick off Ocean Week, folks. But
Yeah.
I try to
Well,
bring the most unfortunate stories to the
this is
the
true.
forefront on our Monday
You know what's
episodes.
cool about your stories, Chuck, is that they are real world, real life
Yeah, that
stories.
did happen
The
for
kid with
real.
his ween hanging out, real world.
Yeah.
The hoarder's house, real world.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Mhm.
didn't even tell you about the other one that I told my guy the other day on my way through Caldwell, Texas, which was another completely nude individual standing in front of his house as I
Yes.
walked up for an appointment. So,
Listen, the reason that A&E and TLC exist is because of people like the ones you know. There's a
unfortunately,
reason that these
yes.
shows have a market
We
because
like
they
to see
actually
the
happen.
weirdness in others, and you're spot on about that. And
We've
it is
been
kind of
watching
entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I've had
we've been watching a lot of A&E lately, and I mean my husband's always watched TLC, but there's a lot of weird people out there. And America loves to capture it.
I
So,
know. I
kudos
feel
to
like
you,
if
America.
WDJY would give me like a 2 or 3 hour time slot, I could tell stories for 3 hours a week live, take callers and stuff. I'm
All
just
right,
saying.
WDJY, Chuck needs a show. He's going to just talk about all the freaks that he's met in his years.
Exactly. And you're probably right. Of the millions of people that do tune in every week, I guarantee that somebody has watched our show. And I'd be willing to bet my entire life and everything that there is no possible way that thing was found, because on that last day, it was still like the real, like super blue water that you just know, like once
Mhm.
it drops, it's going like miles down,
Yeah.
like where submarines
Like
can't even go that
Mariana's Trench.
far. I
Yeah.
feel like at some point my camera just like because of the
Yes.
pressure. So
Crushed.
yeah.
Went
I feel like that's what
full
happened to my drone when it
submarine.
landed in that pond, but a completely different
Yeah.
result because of that. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that camera that was 20 years ago. So if
Ah,
someone
you
did
know
find it and
what?
you're watching our show today,
Maybe it
hook me
was
up.
made like a Nokia phone. It's still ringing somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, probably it was Kodak. That's pretty
Taking
good back in
photos
the
under
day.
the ocean for the last 20 years. That memory card is not full. The water has not gotten into the mechanisms. Who knows? Shout out to Kodak for their quality craftsmanship.
Yeah, it probably is still just sitting there, probably still got the screen on. It's in total focus of something
Love it.
right now. It's
I
taking
love it.
selfies of bottom feeding fish.
Totally. Well, it's a great way to start our show. Oh boy, we need to do our social media promo before we get into my story, Gerald the Dolphin. Okay, but first, find out where you can find us.
Where can you find us?
Watch us live at YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch at Rhode Island Broadcasting, X and Twitter at Broadcasting RI, Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. Listen to us on all of our audio platforms such as Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us on all of our socials at MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, and Space Hay at RI Broadcasting, and Reddit at RI-Broadcasting, and support the show on Rhode-IslandBroadcasting.net. We thank you for listening, following, and watching.
Okay.
Space, hey.
Okay, Space. Hey. I was actually telling somebody the other day. They were like, "Oh, you ever go on Friendster, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Do you know about Space Hey?" They're like,
I
"No, what
checked
is
out
it?"
Space Hay for the first time this past week, and
I'm
I
like,
gotta
"It's my
say,
face." I mean,
yikes.
it looks like it did in 2007.
We are probably the premier program on Space Hay. I
Right.
guarantee that. We're the most recent, if nothing else.
Yes. It's just MySpace for anyone who doesn't know. But they
Yeah.
changed the name, to make it fresh.
It's definitely fresh. Like a
Okay.
gas station
So,
sandwich.
like if it's Bucky's, I'm all about it.
Well, yeah. I
If
mean
it's a
regular gas
if
station.
it's a Japanese 7-Eleven and they got that egg salad.
Sushi.
Egg
Ooh.
salad. Ooh, I'm all about it.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got a Hall of Fame over here for anyone who is just checking us out for the first time. Every month we pick a random topic and we go for it. And for this one, it looks like it's about 70s or maybe early 80s sitcoms. Definitely with a strong black lead as well, is what I've gathered here. We've got Sanford and Sons, Good Times, The Jeffersons, Different Strokes, and What's Happening. So if you want to vote for your favorite, you can scan this QR code, or you can go to our website on rhodeislandbroadcasting.net and you can find it and you can vote. I honestly don't know who I'm voting for because I've only seen 2 so far and I didn't like either of them. So I know it's the end of the month and I know I say this every single month about everything. I will make a vote and it will be a valid vote. So anyway, what are we at? Good Times at 38%.
I just voted for Sanford and Son, and by the end of this show, Sanford and Son will be in the lead.
I didn't like it. It was forced.
I gotta say this. I watched Different Strokes the other day, trying to give it a chance because I wanted to be fair to everything. I like Good Times. I like the Jeffersons. I didn't check out What's Happening because I felt like nobody really was checking that one out. Different Strokes is a very disappointing show. Okay.
It was weird.
Mr. Drummond is a punk. I'll say this. He's a chump. He treats people with disrespect. He was having Arnold he was yelling at Arnold for standing up for himself against a bully. And Mr. Drummond did sucker punch somebody on an episode of that show. So
do you
we
want
cannot
to
have Different Strokes unless we support people sucker punching in front of kids. That's the lesson Different Strokes taught me.
Can I tell you a fun fact about Mr. Drummond, though?
Please do.
I used to do makeup for years and years and years. I'd always do models, photo shoots, things like that. I'm in Edmonton, okay? Like nowhere in Canada.
Right.
One of the girls, her grandpa was Mr. Drummond because he's Canadian. He's a Canadian.
For a split second, I thought you were going to be like, I used to do Mr. Drummond.
No.
I'd be like, Becky, he was dead like 20 years before you were born. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Drummond is no longer residing on Earth.
But
that'd have been a sweet little story, though. But to have a relative of Mr. Drummond in a situation where I'm actually talking bad about her grandfather, that's pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Pretty ironic. I'll take it.
Anyways, go vote. Scan the QR code. Go vote. We want to know who's going to win this one. I think probably Good Times is going to take it. I got to watch Good Times so I know what the heck it's about.
Good Times is an awesome show. Yeah, it is.
Well, I trust you.
It's not Sanford and Son good, people. I don't know why Sanford and Son's getting no love here. This was the one month I was like, for sure, Sanford and Son's taking it.
I didn't like it. I watched.
I promise next week is going to be the final week of voting. When we come back next Monday, Sanford and Son will be in the lead and it'll be insurmountable. Well, I'm going to hire ChatGPT to continuously vote overnight.
Vote.
We're going to get like 60 million votes this week, and Ron's going to be so pumped, but it's going to all be me skewing the numbers so Fred Sanford can win.
Listen, we don't cheat over here at Going On Daily.
I mean, I'm putting forth the effort. I saw nothing that said that you can't do. Look, 8 more votes.
Did you just vote 8 times?
No, ma'am, I did not. I only voted once. I bet 7 more were Fred G. Sanford right there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Join us next week when we find out who takes the lead on this one.
Nice.
Okay, we got to get into this one. Indeed. Gerald the Dolphin.
Gerald the Dolphin, fans.
Gerald the Dolphin. There's been several weeks where I was like, this could fit. I'm going to do it. And then I just haven't done it because there was so much. So I literally sat through multiple videos last night, 11 p.m., not transcribing, but writing down the notes. So if it's disjointed and choppy, it's literally because I'm just writing down notes.
All right. So I like that you wrote down notes. I'm very impressed. I did not do that.
Here. Yeah. Well, this one requires a lot of detail because it's just that good. Oh. So conspiracy, tinfoil hat wearing. I love it. I don't believe anything that anything tells me because, you know, if it was taught in schools, if it came from NASA, I probably don't believe it. Okay. It's probably not on my, yeah, that sounds about right list. It's so far-fetched, it could just be true.
Uh-oh.
So just this past March, a man was found in Cape Coral, Florida, mapping out blueprints in the sand. Do you know this story? Do you know about Gerald the Dolphin? Okay.
No, I don't, but I'm already a little bit nervous because it's not in Canada. It's here in America.
It is in America. You know what? All the best stuff happens in America. This guy was sunburned, disoriented, dehydrated. Police found him and they came up to him and they're like, okay, we need to know what's going on. Are you okay? You're clearly a little disheveled here. He was busy, was in the sand drawing blueprints. And so obviously they're like, okay, mental health check. So they took him to the hospital for a full checkup. He proceeds to tell them that he was swimming recreationally out by Cape Coral when he was surrounded by a pod of dolphins. The
Uh-oh.
dolphins then take him underwater about 40 feet down and are communicating with him, demand that he helps them build cities, towns, a town square, condos made out of like a coral structure, this full plan. They demanded of him. They somehow communicated with him through clicks, they do that.
Of
But
course.
he could understand it. Yeah, how did he breathe? We're getting to that. When they were satisfied with the work that he did, they brought him back to the surface. They said that they would return for him for phase 2. Now, this guy, I didn't write down his name. I don't, just in case people are making fun of him, I don't want to put his name out there. He's actually an MIT graduate. He has an engineering background, more specifically aerospace engineering, and he's experienced with deep sea technology. How did these dolphins know that?
Indeed.
I don't know.
This is going to be an amazing story, I can tell, because I've already got something to add at the end of this that's like, whoa.
So good. So the police don't understand how he's able to breathe. And like Ron and everyone else, how is he able to breathe? He says he also doesn't understand how. He met Gerald, the head dolphin, and he says, you don't ask questions of Gerald. Gerald's a badass, okay? He's got scars on him.
Yeah.
You don't ask questions
Gerald.
of him.
I mean, anybody Gerald, that's
exactly.
Gerald Ford.
But he says that Gerald takes care of the air pressure system somehow, allowing him to breathe. Something like there was a cave and he could breathe under it. Yes. So he was taken Friday evening. That's when he was swimming, Friday evening. He didn't reappear until Monday, Chuck. Confused, dehydrated. That's when they caught him drawing blueprints. So 3 days he was gone. Hospitals even did scans and tests, which showed that his lungs had seawater and particles in it, both of which prove that he had been deep underwater for a long period of time, but without the typical damage. How is this possible? The full workup at the hospital even showed that he had no alcohol or drugs in his system. He was in the right state of mind. There was no brain injury or mental illness involved. This man was sane. This is a legit story he's telling. He's not even crazy. So this made me go down the rabbit holes here. In the 60s, there was actually a NASA-funded experiment. So, it's NASA. So, of course, my radar is going off here. They funded experiments trying to communicate with dolphins. There was I'm not even going to go too far into it because that's what my next topic is about. But basically, they had a dolphin named Peter that they were trying to train to talk. And it got a little crazy. I'll explain why in my next topic. But they had to defund it. But there was studies out in the 60s that you could communicate with dolphins, and they were trying to prove it. So a little fun fact about dolphins. They're supposedly telepathic, where they can communicate from brain to brain, with whales and but maybe even humans. I don't know. That's what they say.
I think so.
They also feel what we feel. So they're very empathic creatures. They are sound technicians through echolocation, maybe even multidimensional, some people are saying. So on those like different planes of existence, maybe.
Yes, I believe.
They're also, yes, Peter the dolphin. Yes, you're right, Ron. There even used to be dolphin-assisted births. Apparently, the frequencies that they emit can give a woman a painless childbirth. And those children grow up to be like also telepathic, super athletic. Their births had zero fear or pain or stress. So these kids come into the world not knowing stress. So then they go on to just excel. That's what they say. I don't know. So back to Gerald. In 2017, Saturday Night Live actually did a skit about Gerald the dolphin. They pretended like they were having sexual relations with them, or with him specifically, Gerald the dolphin. And we'll get into that when we get to my next topic. But
stay tuned.
But the dolphin from that 1960s experiment was Peter. It wasn't Gerald. So was it just a random coincidence that SNL picked the name Gerald for this dolphin that they were communicating with? Maybe. And then on South Park, if you like South Park, which I know you do, Kyle's dad gets surgery to become a dolphin. And his name is Gerald
Broflovsky. Yes.
Gerald Broflovsky. What WTF I wrote down in my notes. There's also a Simpsons episode in the year 2000. And if you're down any of the rabbit trails, you know that the Simpsons
they're always
are predicting all kinds of stuff. Okay. But there was an episode in 2000 where dolphins take over Springfield, forcing all the humans to live in the ocean. The dolphins end up victorious in that. Now, it was a treehouse of horror, you know, a spooky story one. It wasn't, you know, real in the Simpsons world. But again, isn't it weird?
Potentially it was real.
Potentially.
I see no reason to think otherwise now after all this evidence has been stacked up.
Exactly. Now, here's the other crazy part. So, you know, the Epstein files, everyone knows the Epstein files.
Yes, unfortunately. Is Gerald mentioned in the Epstein files? Is this where we're going?
Hundreds of documents and files showing that he was fascinated with dolphins and experiments on dolphins. What
all right, so Gerald wasn't like chilling at the island, though. They just had a strange fascination with dolphins in general.
Yeah, not Gerald.
Gerald the dolphin is not in the Epstein
files. Well, maybe
files.
he is.
Like,
I've never read them. I don't know. Nor do I think
that would be really disappointing. Gerald.
But there was fascination. And so, like, this, you know, another person has come out, he says in 2018. I don't remember. I think it was right after this other guy came out and talking. And you can see the interview with him, but he's blacked out and they've kind of changed his voice. And he said in 2018, he was also pulled underwater by dolphins into a cave, but the cave was full of oxygen, he said. And this is a guy who's a high-ranking member of a military operation, but he wouldn't say which one, obviously, because you got to keep quiet on these things. He said this happened near Tampa. He said the cave was full of hundreds of children, but they were all speaking a language he'd never heard before. So, like, there are multiple accounts of people saying they're being pulled underwater by dolphins and they can communicate. So back to Gerald, after the story came out, shortly after, all these dolphins kept dying and washing up on shore near Cape Coral. 42 of them.
Oh, no.
42. They don't just do that. 1, 2. And of course, the story from the news is like, oh, well, the ecosystem, or like the
it's
food.
Gerald. Somebody pissed him off.
I don't know. I think somebody in the human world, and because that's what they said, it could be human involvement. Yeah, obviously. They found out that the Gerald is being able to communicate, so he went and killed all his buddies, and they all washed up on shore.
But they didn't kill Gerald?
Well, I don't know.
Wouldn't you think he'd be the first one you'd go after if you were trying to take out the syndicate? I mean,
I think you're just killing whatever dolphin you can find near Cape Coral. And also another fun fact.
Morbid tale that turned out to be. Yikes.
It's also illegal to communicate with dolphins. You're not allowed to communicate or try to communicate with them. It's $100,000 fine and up to a year in prison for trying to communicate with dolphins. The reason they say is because it's harassment. And
I've tried to communicate with dolphins before, Becky. Jail. I didn't know it was illegal.
Jail.
You go to Marineland, for example, a place like that, and you're like, who's the bad dolphin? Who's the good dolphin? Come here, buddy. Breaking the law. That's a felony.
Yeah. Apparently, you're not even supposed to be within like 50 yards of them or 150 feet because they call it harassment. They say that dolphins are very social creatures and they get, too friendly. I don't know. But why is it illegal to communicate with dolphins? Why are there multiple people with these accounts? Why do they all keep coming up with the name Gerald? Why was there communication studies funded by NASA in the 60s? Gerald the dolphin, everybody. Flipper.
I see this one about Flipper. I don't know if you saw the Chappelle show where they made him into a
I don't remember that.
Flipper was a terrible person.
Oh, right. Yes. Love it. Well, Hugo, I'm glad you're talking about Flipper because that's my next topic here. So,
you know what? Can I add something real quick to this?
I would love if you did.
I have to piggyback off of this story, and it may change the rest of this episode, but okay. I'm okay. My next story is not that cool anyway. But I gotta say, about 2, maybe 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine on my podcast, and this is a once in a lifetime, one of a kind episode in which my friend was staying on his own personal roof for 24 hours. And we live streamed a 1-hour podcast at 3 a.m. in Minneapolis from his roof. Now, Becky, during this time frame, I was asking these questions like, what's going on up there? Anybody talking to you? Have you seen any raccoons? Well, when I asked him if he saw any raccoons, this triggered this crazy memory that he had in which he was up on his roof holding onto the chimney for dear life because it was also in the middle of the winter. He's freezing and he's holding on for dear life. and somehow a entire gaggle, I'll say, I don't know what they're called, of squirrels came and actually picked him up and took him to their leader, which was a raccoon. And the raccoon was not impressed by him being there and basically told him, you got a little bit of time to get off the roof. I understand what you're doing, but if you're here tomorrow, we got problems. The squirrels took him back to the roof, and therefore he was there. But this was documented 100% on my podcast. So that was 3 years ago. I firmly believe that this happened with the dolphins because I've seen it happen with someone that I believe when they tell me that it happened. So
that is wild, and I love it. I love to believe stuff like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and it was live when it was on the air. So it's not like he had time to make it up. It was just there.
Yes.
And he was like, a whole bunch of squirrels took him. The raccoon had like a scepter in its hand. He knew the whole story. He had the whole deal figured out. And it was like the raccoon was not impressed, but the squirrels were. So they took him back and were like, hey, just finish what you got to do and be cool. And there will be no problems.
Isn't it South Park where they have the Frog King? Is it
very likely?
I'm pretty sure.
There's all kinds of
got a scepter in a cave.
Yeah, there's all kinds of craziness out there in the world if you're looking hard enough.
For sure. For sure.
We do know stories, and I 100% believe that this did happen because
I agree. I love it.
I don't know what episode that was, but go look it up. Keeping It Rio, live at 3 a.m. from the rooftop. Okay. I even say his name. It's Tim Brown. He's a hero. He gave me this little stuffed animal thing right here.
Okay, cute.
And created the baseball card of me that I shared on our episode months ago.
Guy, yes.
So there we go.
So we believe him. He's a credible source.
100%.
Love it. Well, if you're in the comments, let us know what you think. Do you believe that Gerald, this is a real story? If you Google it, of course, Snopes and all that other stuff debunks it. I don't believe anything that's on Google, okay? I don't believe anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, we better get going here. So we're going to take you guys to a quick word from our sponsors.
All right.
Not sure what to do at the gym? Overwhelmed by all the equipment? Need videos to make sure you're doing exercises correctly? With the Mace Fitness app's Workout of the Week feature, we take the guesswork out of fitness. Every week, you get a guided workout with step-by-step exercise videos, so you can walk into the gym with confidence. No confusion, no wasted time, just effective workouts designed to help you get stronger and feel better. All for just $9 a month. Download the Mace Fitness app today and start training smarter.
Sometimes you can feel lost in the forest of your mind, caught up in mistakes you can't change, looking ahead, uncertain what comes next, questioning if things will ever get easier, and if you've missed your chance. But the fact is that every moment is a new chance to change and choose a new direction. The fastest way to stop the pain and gain the new insight needed is through guidance from someone who has walked the path before you that can teach you to find your own answers from within. If any of this sounds familiar and you're looking for a way through from where you are to where you long to be, then let's connect. Check out soulspectivesinstitute.com today and book your discovery call, and we can see where we can go from there.
All right. Thank you, Mace and Soul Spectives Institute. Look, I can say it today.
I was going to say the whole time I was practicing Soul Spectives
Institute. Yeah. I worked on my alliteration the last 2 weeks and I got it. I mean, I did a show with Luana last week. I couldn't mess it up. So I had to make sure that it was spot on. And I got it.
Indeed. You nailed it.
Okay, so instant karma, the namesake of our show today. This is your next story. You said it's not very good. I'm excited to hear.
Well, it's not terrible, but I'm going to make it very brief so we stay on time for WDJY, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So this is going to be the abbreviated version of instant karma, car crash style. Here we go.
Okay.
Yesterday morning, I'm in San Antonio, Becky. I'm an early riser. I like to get up and do all my stuff before everybody else is out getting in the way and being annoying and all that stuff. So even on Sundays, I get up relatively early. This is like probably about 4:30 yesterday morning.
Wait, what time did you get up this morning? I need to know.
3 a.m.
Because you texted at 1:30 a.m. What on earth were you doing?
I was awake at that time too. My sleep score was lousy last night. According to this, I got like at 12. But I was excited for today's episode.
Yeah, Gerald, obviously.
Yeah, Gerald Ford. So yesterday, I was sitting at a traffic light on my way to the workout facility early in the morning, 4:30-ish. And I saw the craziest thing. There was a truck that was beside me, and he was turning left to get onto the highway. And I was getting in the lane to go straight. The light was red, but his light had turned green. So this dude was making a left turn, and it was a giant like F350 with a huge construction trailer on the back. And the trailer was black. So this dude starts taking this turn, and Becky, out of nowhere comes this car flying the wrong way and smashes right into this trailer right there in front of me. Boom. Jeez. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? You know, like, oh my gosh. I instantly start, you know, regaining my composure, and I did the right thing. I went and checked on the guys, and they were like, the guys at the trailer were cool. They didn't get hit with their car. Their trailer got hit. They were jarred, but they were okay. This is where it gets kind of sketchy. The guy that did the hitting, Becky, you would think that if you did something serious like that, you would probably stop immediately and try to do the right thing, make sure everybody's cool, make sure you didn't kill anybody, make sure everything's right. This was not what happened. This individual tried to take off.
No.
Well, here's the worst part about instant karma. It's freaking instant. As this dude tried to take off, he literally got about not even a quarter of a mile away, and his car exploded. The radiator was like, and it just started steaming everywhere. So now this dude's like stuck on the side of the road. His car's exploded. He's trying to run. So these dudes are a little bit pissed, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. You're not that far away, but you showed your intent. So, of course, me, I'm like, well, are you guys going to fight? Everybody cool? They're like, no, whatever. The guy was sitting in his car. His face was all busted. He had been hit in the face with the airbag. Gosh. And I was like, are you okay? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh, my God, you know. And I was like, I'm going to call the police. He's like, no, don't call the police. So I had to wonder. I guess obviously hit and run. Stolen but car. I feel like he probably was drunk, probably was carrying something he shouldn't have, probably had a warrant. San Antonio at its finest at 4:30 in the morning on Sunday is random jackasses running red lights at high rates of speed. And I've never seen a front end of a car look like this. It was like, it was gone. Like just whoosh, because it was a full construction trailer. And it was like so instant. I left because I saw everybody was okay. I couldn't really contribute anything positive at that point. Nobody needed my medical advice. So I'm like, so long, folks. But I can only imagine that when the cops did arrive moments later, that there was probably some drama. And most likely after the trip to the hospital, there's probably a trip to jail. So moral of the story in its brief form is
don't hit and run. People
don't be a dick either. If you're going to do something, just take a responsibility for it. Don't try to run. Don't be one of those people that like picks up your dog crap at the park and then waits and sees that nobody's around and then drops it. That's always going to come back to you. So
people do that?
Yes.
Weird.
People do that all the time.
I like sometimes I pretend to pick it up if I don't have a bag, but
I appreciate you for at least being honest. I pretend to pick it up. I don't really pick it up, but I pretend. I taught my dog to crap on the sidewalk so I could pick it up easily.
That's smart. And not mess up.
There's people whose dogs crap on the sidewalk and they don't appreciate that. They leave it on the sidewalk. There's literally a dog that craps on the sidewalk right out here in my house. So
right. California, the people just do that there though. San Francisco, I've seen videos.
That's cool.
Sorry, instant karma. I love it. Let's go quickly. Hopefully Ronald is still here. He can see this quick video on Uganda, and then we'll get into our last topic.
Indeed.
Here at Rhode Island Broadcasting and Going On Daily, we're proud to announce that we are collecting donations for our Uganda Fund. My name is Becky, and I've been one of the hosts here at Going On Daily since day one. And earlier this year, I was blessed with the opportunity to travel to Uganda, and it was honestly one of the most life-changing experiences. I met people who completely changed the way I see the world. I met families who had endured unimaginable tragedies, including these two families who lost young children to a witch doctor. I met children who hadn't eaten in days. We even saw 11 children share a single apple because it's all we had left to give them. I met children who fled war in neighboring countries only to find themselves homeless and living on the streets. I saw heartbreak, poverty, and desperation. But what I also saw was joy, the happiness that a single piece of candy, a bracelet, or a small act of kindness could bring was enough to bring tears to my eyes. These are people who have so little, and yet they have more gratitude and joy than many of us could even imagine. We know that there are people who need help in our own communities, and we continue to support local initiatives whenever we can. But this year, our hearts are with Uganda. In partnership with Love Made a Way, 100% of every donation will go directly to initiatives in Uganda. No hidden fees, no deductions. Every dollar goes to help providing food, clean water, education, medical care, safe buildings, sanitation improvements, schools, vocational training, and hope. $1 is worth roughly 3,700 Ugandan shillings, so even a small donation can make a meaningful impact. Maybe it's giving up your Starbucks or your Timmy's today. Whatever you feel led to give, please know that it will help change lives. Thank you for your support, your generosity, and for helping us bring hope to the people of Uganda. Visit www.rhodeislandbroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations to help out.
I hope Ronald saw that. He's in that. The guy, yellow shirt, holding a jackfruit. That's Ronald. So
Nice. Was he wearing an American Eagle shirt?
Yes, he was.
I was paying attention. Big
Yes,
time. There
that
you
is
go,
my
Ronald.
friend Ronald. Hopefully he watched this because he
That is
wanted
a
me
great video, by the way. I think this is the first time I've been able to tell you that, but that is a terrific video.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great. Great experience. I was actually remember my American friend from the trip was with her yesterday. She's in town.
From Indiana or?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
I do remember.
She's in town, yes. And I went out for dinner with her and the one who runs this mission or this ministry. I went out for dinner with them and one of the other girls. And, they're planning their next trip. And unfortunately, I'm not going to that. But there will be a time where maybe you and I go. And it'll be a great time.
Yeah, we got to roof the school over there. So
build, exactly.
Game on.
She did not see that episode, Ron. Yeah. Okay, give us a quick intro to you and your podcast, where people can find you.
You can find me anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Literally go to the internet and just type in my name, Chuck Allen, and I show up in like the craziest places. I was on a great podcast the other day with a buddy of mine in the industry.
I saw that.
Lots of clips all over the place, but I prefer you check me out on Facebook, Chuck Allen, Instagram, or youtube.com at Chuck Allen 210.
210, not 209, not
San
211.
Antonio, Texas.
Is that your area code? Is that why?
It is, indeed. That's why I picked 210.
That makes sense. I was like, that's very random. There's a lot of other Chuck Allens, I guess. Okay.
There probably are at least 210 others in the world.
At least.
One used to play in the NFL. I get confused with them a lot.
Yeah, naturally, you're that guy.
Yeah.
You can find me on my website, aboundinghealth.ca. It has a link to my website. It has a link to just what I do, link to my podcast, all the things. It's not super updated, but go check me out if you're interested, or you can follow me on all my socials of Becky Turner. You'll find me. It looks like me in the pictures. Okay, are you ready for this last topic? I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. I was going to just steer away from the dolphin topic, pick something different. No, how can you not?
Yeah, Ocean Week. There's nothing more ocean than dolphins.
No dolphins. That's right. This is something called Project Tripping Flipper. This is a real name, by the way. So in the 1960s, as we were talking about, there was a neuroscientist. His name is Dr. John Lilly, and he led a NASA-funded project aiming to teach dolphins, like specifically bottlenose dolphins, one named Peter, more specifically, to speak English. That's what they wanted. They wanted to teach it to speak English. Birds can do it. Sometimes dogs can say words. They wanted the dolphins to speak English.
My dog could say a lot of words.
Right, exactly. So this Dr. Lilly here, he actually received funding from NASA and other government agencies to study dolphin intelligence and explore whether or not humans could actually communicate with them, with another highly intelligent species, because apparently next to humans, dolphins are the most intelligent. They have like some huge prefrontal cortex or something, making them, very intelligent beings.
I feel like dolphins might be smarter than people.
Well, maybe. Yeah, some people.
Yeah,
I've traveled. I know. Yeah, some people. So there was a researcher as well named Margaret Howe Levitt. She actually lived with Peter the dolphin in this flooded facility in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Lived with him. I don't know what that entails exactly. But the project is infamous for having bizarre methods, including giving the dolphins LSD, as they did in the 60s. Right?
All right. I figured we were going down this path.
Yeah. So the goal was that, Dr. Lilly believed if dolphins could mimic human speech, it could pave the way for communicating with extraterrestrial life. Okay.
Makes sense. Especially since you've mentioned LSD.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
makes much more sense now.
More like this guy was doing LSD and he had some crazy
Started
idea.
talking to some dolphins. I love it.
So Margaret Howe, I just can't read, Lilac. So in 1965, this is when this Margaret Howe Lavatt moved into this two-story building in the U.S. Virgin Islands with a teenage dolphin named Peter. She lived with him 24/7 for months, attempting to teach him like basic words like ball or Margaret by imitating sounds through his blowhole. Here's, kind of the controversy. As Peter matured into an older dolphin, he grew distracted and aggressive. This is so gross.
Hey, he didn't enjoy living in the second floor of an apartment building.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just not the place for him. To keep the project moving, Margaret began to physically and intimately appease Peter's mating urges to keep him focused on lessons. She took care of his sexual needs.
All right, Margaret. I mean, a team player right there.
Margaret.
She's all in for the cause.
And this is the name I do. I wanted to protect my guy with the Gerald story. Margaret, I'm not protecting you. This is gross. What? Why?
Yeah, we need like Margaret's like all of her information.
I need to know more about Margaret. That's for sure. How many kids do they have? Right. So there's LSD trials. So under pressure to show results, Dr. Lilly was administering LSD to 3 of the dolphins, one named Pamela, one named Sissy, one named Peter. Listen, if there's 2 female dolphins, Margaret, there was no reason why you needed to get in up in that. Okay. Just throw
Margaret
Sissy
just
in
had
the
some
pool.
issues.
Margaret, yeah.
Margaret is
she's a freak.
Weirdo.
So they wanted to see if the hallucinogen would unlock telepathic communication or even lower inhibitions. It did.
It does, yeah. Obviously, I'm not even a scientist, and I've come to find this.
Yeah, Margaret needs to go to jail. You're right, Lilac. And it did lower inhibitions for her, clearly. The outcome was that the drugs did not give dolphins the ability to speak English, though they were found to be more vocal. The experiment lost its funding and was shut down by the 60s, probably when they figured out that one of them was being...
I'm going to say, they're more vocal. He's screaming for help, help, help. He knew like a lot of words at that point.
But you know what, though? I've heard lots of stories about how dolphins can get a little aggressive, sexually aggressive with people. So
yeah, I've seen those videos too. They pull tops off a lot.
Liked it. I don't know. She is the name you originally called her, Margaret Howe. That's right. Here's the tragic ending to it. After the Dolphin House project was closed, Peter was relocated to this small isolated tank in Miami. Terrible. He was separated from his lover, Margaret, and living in this cramped, dark conditions. That's awful. They probably sent him to Marineland.
I was going to say, this sounds very similar to Marineland. It
sounds similar. Peter became severely depressed, and because dolphins are conscious breathers, basically, they choose when to surface and breathe. Peter made the conscious decision to stop breathing. He sank to the bottom of his tank and died from depression. So yeah, it's a pretty tragic story. It's a pretty messed up story. Not gonna lie.
I definitely agree with that. It's messed up in just about every possible way.
Yeah, right. And now
all the bases were covered there.
Oh, really? All the bases. Yeah, she needs her own TLC show. That's for sure.
Like I just thought he was going to be eating acid, and I thought that was going to be the whole story, but no, that was just a minor detail.
Yeah, and so Margaret and her disgusting behavior wasn't even supposed to be the highlight of that story. It was just to go on and explain more that there have been NASA-funded experiments trying to communicate with dolphins. Listen, if NASA thinks that it was worthwhile throwing money at, what don't we know? What don't we know?
Oh, yes. But when we ask that question, it becomes a major problem. So
yeah.
I saw some of the things that were included in some of those things a while ago, and it was like, oh, okay. That's our tax dollars hard at work.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
if my tax
our
dollars,
freaking highway's got one lane on them, and we can't freaking get to the other side of town in 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
But our priorities are straight.
I don't know. I just feel like if my tax dollars are going to some sort of like dolphin human loving, I don't want my money to go there. You know?
No,
I don't feel right about that.
I think there are definitely other better ways to spend the money.
I agree.
I can't even say that I'm not going to judge because I'm 100% judging this Margaret. Like
yeah, no, 100%.
She's garbage. So
she is garbage. Now, here's the thing. We've got a couple minutes to spare. We actually made up for time here. I kind of want to know what happened to her, you know? Oh, there's pictures
I
of
do want
her.
to know what happened, and I feel like you've probably got the answer.
Let's go
always
to
has
her
the
wiki.
answers.
Let's go to her wiki here. It says she's still alive. Margaret, I hope you're watching the show.
Yeah, Margaret, we hope you're watching.
Yeah. So it says she was in her early 20s, as we know. She lived in the Caribbean island of St. Thomas, where there was a laboratory of research dolphins. They allowed her to observe dolphin behavior, and impressed by her enthusiasm, and diligence as an observer, despite her lack of scientific training. Well, there's her first problem. You're letting some civilian come work.
She works at Starbucks, but she says she knows how to talk to him, guys.
Yeah, she's like making noise, and they're like, "Oh, look at her gumption! Get her in there. Make them a couple." So what else? He was building this research facility, funding by NASA. I've said it 25 times. Funded by NASA, okay, and the United States Navy. Wow, I didn't know that. With the goal of speaking to extraterrestrial life forms. I mean, the 60s was a wild time. I think that all of this studying and research has still gone on over the last 5 decades. They're just more quiet about it. In the 60s, they were like, yeah, we're talking to aliens. And in the 50s, we had all these aliens come to Area 51. But now they just like keep it quiet, I think.
I wish that we did get to talk more about that. I would like to know. I would really like to know. I would have liked to have known before today's episode that this whole deal was going on with the tripping flipper, with this Margaret. I didn't know anything of it.
Yeah.
An eye-opening episode.
Oh, so it's on Wiki. It's got her personal life. I thought for sure I was going to click on it and it was going to talk about her time with Peter here. But it says that she's married to a photographer.
Oh,
they later moved back into the dolphinarium, converted it into a family home. Together they had 3 daughters. Some of them have long beaks, and
I was going to say, I wish I knew 3 dolphin names, like right off the top of my head. That would have been a perfect opportunity for something funny, but
yes,
I don't know enough about dolphins.
Right. Well, here's the creepy part here. So Peter, being an adolescent dolphin, frequently had sexual urges, which disrupted lessons, as they do. Taking Peter to a downstairs pool with 2 female dolphins proved to be a logistical issue. Eventually, she realized that if she relieved him herself, that it would help. And she said it wasn't sexual on my part. Sensuous, perhaps.
There you go.
To me, that it made the bond closer. Not because of the sexual activity, but because of the lack of having to keep breaking. And that's really all it was. I was there to get to know Peter. That was part of Peter. It would just become part of what was going on, like an itch. Just get rid of the scratch, and we would be done and move on. Pardon me, Margaret. Yuck.
It's terrible.
Okay. Terrible. I know.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we set the bar for the week. And the bar has been set pretty dang high. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know if they're going to air us, to be honest.
I
may have ruined that for us.
That may be one of those episodes where it's like, you know what? It was too good for the air. So
it was too
that's the way I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, anyways. So that's it for Ocean Week today with Chuck and Becky. Sorry if I've ruined your day, especially with that last topic here.
I haven't ruined my day at all. You've actually enlightened me to the fact that stuff like that goes on. And
you know what?
Maybe I lost a little bit of my innocence during this last hour,
yeah,
but you know what? Sure. I'm okay with that because I needed to know that was going on.
I like hearing about freaks because it just makes me know that I'm so normal. Exactly. It's never even crossed my mind to ever.
Dolphins?
She knew him like married people knew each other in the Bible. That's right. Lot and his 2 daughters. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that is it for today. Tomorrow, we've got Mickey and Luana together, and that'd be fun because they can both talk about their own stuff.
Terrific duo for
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think they've done a show yet, or maybe they have. I think it's going to be a good one, though. I'm excited to see that one. Thank you again to WDJY in Atlanta, right? And thank you to the Fairfax and Washington, D.C. community for when we are finally on over there. That should be coming up very, very soon if it hasn't already. And of course, thank you to Mickey and Luana at Maze Fitness and Soul Perspectives Institute. It was a great show.
It was a terrific show.
Yeah.
And I think that,
Loved it.
There you go. It's Monday, everybody. Enjoy the week. That's the way that we kick it off. And it can either only go up or down from here. So use
only
this as
down
your
from
barometer.
here. This was the top, I have to say. I think only down from here.
Yeah, we're there. So
cool. Well, have a good day,
Amen.
everybody, and we will see you again tomorrow.